Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Crystal and this is my social thread. So today is my August plans video where I will be showing you my plans for the month of August. It's currently the first week of August at the moment, and this is the time of the month where I find I'm not quite sure when to release certain vlogs. So for me anyway, at the beginning of the month, within the first week, I like to have made my roundup of the last month. So that was July makes, which I released a couple of days ago, I believe. But then also within that first week, I like to release my plans for that month, which is August makes, which is this vlog right now. And then also some of my subscription boxes come during the first week, and so I'd like to open those and get those live as soon as possible. And then by the time I'm finished, it's already Friday. That's another Friday Sews vlog. So really the first week is a bit of a manic time in terms of sort of what content to put into which vlogs, so on and so forth. But anyway, I digress. August plans. So I have been very busy in terms of sewing, and I have actually made a couple of my plans already, and the rest have already been cut out as well, so I'm very organized. I am going away again in 2 weeks time for a whole week with the family, and we're camping in Norfolk in Walsingham, so I won't be sewing for a good 7 days, so I'm trying to get in as much as I can before and afterwards as well. So let me go through my plans with you. First and foremost, what I'm wearing, I'm just wearing what is this called? It's coming to me. It is by Chalk and Notch. Sorry, it's a Chalk and Notch fringe dress with the turned up cuffs. This is just in a denim chambray. I can't remember where it's from, but that's a Chalk and Notch pattern. So my plans. So first and foremost, let's go for this one. So I am planning to make the Sew Over It Eve dress. And it's basically a wrap dress. Let me show you. So the two variations are, you have sort of a normal wrap dress, and this is like a straight cut skirt. You still have the gathers at the yokes, and it's just a 3/4 length sleeve with a tie, and the level of the hem of the skirt is level. This version here, I think you have more of a skirt. I'm not sure if it's a half circle or a 3/4 circle skirt, I'm not quite sure, but it's basically a more flowy skirt. It also has a high-low hem, so it's high at the front, low at the back, and then you have I think they call them butterfly sleeves or fluted sleeves, I'm not quite sure, but it's sort of like a flowy fluted sleeve, and then you still have the same what is this called, gathers in the yoke, and the wrap that goes all the way around. It's not a faux wrap, it's a real wrap, so it goes all the way around. Measurements for this, so over it, it goes from a size 6, bust of 31 inches to a waist of 24, hip of 34, all the way up to a size 20, bust of 45, waist of 38, hip of 48. And requires for my size, I'm a size 12 in Sew Over It pattern, so I require 3.5 meters, and I am doing version 1. I have made this dress twice before, one in a sort of bright floral mustardy Florenza crepe from Lady McElroy. I'll pop that one in here. Picture for you. And then another one, I made the exact same version, but I lengthened the skirt all the way to floor length, and I leveled out the hem, and I made it in a satin underlay with like a tulle embroidered lace fabric on the top, and that was for a ball that I went to. And the sleeves, I lengthened this, I think I used these sleeves but just above the elbow, and I'll pop in a picture for you there. So my version this month is, as I say, so I'm going to go for the same version number 1, and this is my blogger project for Jenny Stitches Fabrics, who I blog for, and she provides me with the pattern, the fabric, the notions, everything I need for that make, and on top of which as well, what Jenny provides is actually something that I don't know if any other companies do this, but once you do get your sort of kit to make up the project, you then submit your blog. As soon as you've submitted your blog and your photos, Jenny then does send us all a £30 gift voucher to spend in her store, in recognition for the time that we spent making up the garment. So that's just super lovely, and I really do look forward to all my makes with Jenny, and obviously all the vouchers that we get as well. And the voucher isn't meant to be spent on your next project. You can just buy whatever you want, and then obviously the next project she will gift that to you again. So the fabric I chose this time, this has already been cut out, so I'll show you. This is the sleeve. So how does that, oh yeah, so it kind of, so sort of, that's the middle sleeve. Let me just show you her. So I believe, I don't even know how this goes on. I see. It goes on like that. That's it. So this is your bodice here. This is the under the arm here. And so you've got this lovely sort of flowy fluted sleeve there. And this is a viscose crepe from the Fabric Godmother's own collection. And it's a lovely, it's not a baby pink, it's like almost like a very light coral pink with these lovely red flowers with hues of pink and lovely green leaves there. So it's perfect for the Eve. As soon as I saw this fabric, actually, I just thought Eve straight away. So on the Sew Over It website, if you have a look for the Eve dress, one of the older makes that Lisa Comfort is wearing, she's wearing a version of the Eve with the floaty sleeves, and it's like a white, the fabric is like a white background with florals, and it just reminded me so much of this. And I think this will look beautiful in the Eve because it's flowy, it's romantic, it's floral, and I think it will work really, really well. So that's my Eve dress. That's project number 1 for August. The second project that I have to do in August is this one here. It's the Mave skirt by True Bias. And for those of you that watch me, you'll know that this was my kit gifted to me by Little Miss So-and-so, Helen and Nicola. So I am their brand ambassador as well. And I basically get their So Luxurious or Set to Sew kits once a month. And it's a really, really amazing deal. What you get for it, you obviously get the pattern, the notions, the fabric, everything, you know, as you normally do with a kit. But you also, with this sort of kit, you get a choice between So Luxurious, which is more luxurious fabric. So you've got the designers like Lady McElroy, Atelier Brunette, Arts Gallery, that sort of thing. And then you also have a slightly lesser price bracket called So Special, and then you get the rest of their really, really beautiful fabric as well. So this month, or for last month, I chose this, and it's the Mave skirt by True Bias. I say that, True Bias. And it's basically a beautiful tiered, do they call them gypsy skirts? I'm not sure. So a tiered skirt, you have elasticated waistband, and then you have like a drawstring as well. And I'll show you the line drawings. So basically you can have single tier, 2 tiers, 3 tiers, and also you can interchange all these tiers as well. So you can have mini length, midi length, and maxi length as well. The drawstrings are functional, but you don't need them because the elastic works fine in terms of staying on your body, you know, your waist. In terms of the measurements, so this goes from a size 0, which is a waist of 26 inches, hip of 34. Hip doesn't really matter because it's quite a flowy skirt, so you really need to just work on your waist measurement. All the way up to a size 18, which is a waist of 38.5 inches and a hip of 46.5 inches. Difficulty level is 1.5 there. Now with the So Luxurious kits that I receive, I will talk more about it at my unboxing of the next kit. So at every unboxing I do reveal the garment that I made for the last month, and I think that works quite nicely, and then it's all in one video. So if anybody just wants to see that particular thing, the unboxing and the reveal, then it's all on there. But I also do discuss, once I've revealed it on a separate vlog, I then do discuss it on my Friday Sews vlog and my roundup of the month as well. So anyway, sorry, with regards to these kits, all the patterns I've ever had from them are patterns that I wouldn't choose myself, but obviously I had to choose one of the patterns, and now that I've made them up, I have enjoyed them, and it has kind of forced me to look at patterns that I normally wouldn't wear and just give it a go and see what it's like. And actually I have liked everything I have made. That's not to say that I would make them again, but the garments that I have made I would wear and I have worn. But with regards to this Mave skirt, I actually did have this on my list to actually buy myself, or to ask Jenny Stitches if I could have this as my project with her. And then this came that month and I was very happy, so I chose that one straight away. And the fabric I chose, I've already cut this out, so I'll just show you a glimpse. It is the Atelier Brunette chestnut fabric, viscose crepe, and it's this fabric here. and I chose the chestnut colorway. So it's basically like what would you call it? I don't know, like an orangey browny color background with little white dots, and then sort of beigey sort of brushstroke things there. Beautifully drapey. Atelier Brunette is amazing quality, obviously, and this retails at gosh, I think it's like £18 a meter, I think. So very, very happy with that. And I am planning to make the maxi version with the 3 tiers maxi version. You get the elastic with it as well, and then you make the drawstrings yourself. So I'm planning to do that. And what I'm going to team it with, I know she's got it on with a white vest there, but I'm just going to team it with a white Tilly in the buttons Tabitha t-shirt, which I have already. Actually, on that note, I think I need to make more of those white t-shirts, because I do wear them under slip dresses, and it just, I mean, a basic white t-shirt goes with everything. So I think I need to make another one of those. So I have whilst one's in the wash, I've still got another one. So that's my second project for the month of August. Third project is I am making the Tilly and the Buttons indigo dress. Now, again, as I said this before, for those of you that follow me, from this picture alone, I was never attracted to this pattern at all. No offense to Romana, who we recognize as being from the Sewing Bee. Also, we've got Paige Joanna at the back there. So Paige Joanna, Romana, not their fault at all. I just think that the photo that they used, for me personally, I wouldn't wear sort of smock tops or smock dresses. I just think it doesn't suit me. It kind of reminds me of sort of maternity style clothing. But I have looked on Instagram, and there are some lovely, lovely versions of the indigo. And I have already made one as well. I could pop up a picture here. So this is just in a rust viscose I got for Rainbow Fabric Kilburn. But I plan to make another one because I like that version so much. And the fabric I have chosen for that, I have cut out the sleeves already, is this beautiful, did I tell you the measure? I haven't told. I'll go back to the measurements on that. It's a beautiful, it's kind of like, depending on the light, it's like a lilac check. And I think these are 10mm checks, so 1 centimeter check. But in the light, it's kind of lilac-y or kind of mauvey at the same time. And this is actually the sleeve that I have cut out, so it's quite a big sleeve. So I'm going to make the, so these are mine. Does it have the variations on here? Let me check, bear with me. So I'm going to make, yes. So these are the line drawings there. And I've also bought the add-on pack, which gives you the frill at the bottom and different variations of sleeves. So I am going to make the midi length dress. Is it midi length or maxi length dress on me, because I'm quite short? So I'm going to have this bit here. The sleeves, actually, I'm using the sleeves from the Stylark Belle dress, which I really, really love. And then I'm going to add the lower ruffle at the bottom, and then I'm going to add waist ties. The waist ties don't come in the pattern, but they're very easy to do. You just get a length of fabric, fold it over, stitch across, and then turn it out to make 2 ties. Going back to these measurements here, Tilly and the Buttons goes from a size 1, bust of 30 inches, waist of 24, hip of 33. Again, because it's quite loose fitting, the hip doesn't really matter so much. So I would go with bust and waist. Well, actually, even the waist, because it's a smock dress, it is you've got a lot of ease in the waist and the hip. And that's why I need to put ties, because I find with pulling it back, it just gives me a bit more shape and it feels a lot more comfortable for me. The reason why you can't sort of size down too much is because there are no openings, so there's no zippers, there's no button loops, so you literally put the dress over your head, and if it was too fitted, you wouldn't be able to get it on. So that's why it needs to be not too small. So I am sizing down, I believe, by, I should have written this down, I have written it down actually, but I am sizing down by 1 size. And I'm going for my bust measurement and not my waist measurement, but yeah, it needs to comfortably fit over your head. And so that's the fabric that I'm doing with that, so I'm very happy about that. And I just think it'll be like a lovely, and this feels really, really lovely. So it's a gingham cotton from Minerva Crafts, and I just think I can squeeze another nice summer dress in. Actually, I'm going to squeeze a lot of summer dresses in August and September. So that's that project. The next project that I'm going to do is, you've seen this before, it's the Tabitha t-shirt dress. I'll just find it. It's from this book here, Tilly and the Buttons Make It Simple book. Tilly and the Buttons Make It Simple book. There you go, Tabitha t-shirt dress. All it is the, let me show you that properly there. It's a Tabitha t-shirt, which is this one here, the Tabitha t-shirt. You get the variations of the length of the sleeves, and then basically it just shows you where to cut it. You just cut it slightly higher, and then it gives you instructions for how to draft your own skirt piece, and then you join the two together, and voila, you have a dress from a t-shirt pattern, which is amazing. And for those of you that do follow me, you'll know that I have made, I think, 5 of them already, some for myself, some for my daughter, and I love them so much because they're so comfortable, they're so easy to make. Most of it was on my overlocker. The neckline sits perfectly, and they're just lovely dresses to wear every day. And also you can also showcase beautiful jersey fabric as well, because it's basically a t-shirt and a skirt, and you only have the break in the waist for the waistband. So the fabric that I've got for that is my lovely precious Arts Gallery fabric from Little Miss So and So. Beautiful, look at that. So it's like a slightly lighter than a dark navy, and then beautiful florals, and that coral color is almost quite fluorescent. It's not fluorescent, but it looks fluorescent just because it's so bold and bright, and I love that. And I think that's the same color coral that they have in their other print for Art Gallery. So I'm going to make another Tabitha t-shirt dress with that, or they call it drawstring dress actually. I'm going to use my navy ribbing for, actually I'm not sure if that will go. Navy ribbing for my neckline, probably not. I might have to choose something else. But for my waistband, I am planning to use, is it this one here? Sorry, children are crying. I'm filming this at night, and just so the kids are asleep, but obviously one of the children have woken up. Oh, here. I had this in my stash. So it's a different color, like a bluey grey color, and that kind of matches quite nicely with that blue there. So I'm definitely using the drawstring for this drawstring for this dress. I was going to use, like I said, this navy ribbing, but now putting it together, it doesn't really go. So I might see if I can find something different to go with this. So that's Tabitha t-shirt dress number 1 for myself, and then number 2, I'm making one for my daughter in this lovely fabric here. I've made a t-shirt for my eldest daughter in this. It's just a chunky stripe cotton jersey from Guthrie and Ghani, but I did have enough to make, I thought I had enough to make a Tabitha t-shirt dress for my younger daughter, my 11-year-old, but I just cut out the t-shirt bit and I didn't have enough for the length of the skirt. So I went on the Guthrie and Ghani website, and they were having a sale, although this wasn't in the sale, but there was 0.9 meters left, and so I bought that, and that will be perfect. So that's coming this week. So hopefully I'll be able to cut out the skirt and then join the two together for my daughter's dress. And again, ribbon ties is this, and ribbing I can use the navy for this. And for those of you that do follow me, you'll know that the drawstring eyelets in my daughter's dress has come away, and unfortunately one of mine has come away as well, the one on my atelier, on my art gallery, the one with the stripes and the floral. So I'm a bit upset over that. So what I plan to do in the book, actually, Tilly does suggest that you can use eyelets or you can do buttonholes. Now I'm going to try the buttonhole technique for putting the drawstring through, but also where I've looked at my son's shorts where they have eyelets and drawstrings, just like a pair of shorts from Next, what they've done is they've got a bigger eyelet, to be fair, but then around the eyelet they've done they've stitched across in a square. So maybe that's to hold the fabric and the interfacing together to prevent it from stretching out, and also maybe their eyelets were a bit bigger. So I will try and look into that at some point, but at the moment I think I'm going to stay with the buttonholes and see how that works out. And I think that should be fine actually, because no matter how much you pull and stretch that, the buttonhole will stay still, as in, yeah. So I'm going to give that a go. Hopefully that will work. Okay, and then the next thing I have planned, I was organized, but somehow, here you go. I have bought the it's the honeycomb dress by Coco Wawa Patterns. I ripped off the front cover, but it's this pattern here, and it's basically a button front shirt dress with a mandarin collar. You can have short sleeves or long sleeves, how you want, and you have the options to have like a little tie at the sleeves, and then it's princess seams at the front and the back, a gathered skirt, and then you basically put a tie in the seat in the bodice seams at the front and the back and the princess seams, and then you tie it at the side, which I think is a different way of having ties to a dress, because normally you would insert it at the side of the bodice and tie at the back, or side of the bodice and tie at the front. But I thought that was quite nice bit of detail where they use the princess seam lines to put the ties in to tie on the side. I'm going to omit the collar from mine because I just don't think it, looking at pictures on Instagram, I think the ones that I have seen, people either they have it but then they kind of open it outwards, so I think it's a bit pointless using it. And also when they have had it closed, the mandarin collar seems to kind of not sit on their necks properly, so I'm going to omit mine anyway. So then I'll have almost just like a crew neck bodice with buttons going down. And when I say mine, this is my daughter's one. Going to the measurements for the Cocowawa patterns. This is the first time I've used Cocowawa actually before. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And I have had my eye on this dress for a while, but you know, as with normal things, you just get distracted. Sizing for this, they go from a UK size 6, which is a size 1 on here, bust of 31 inches, waist of 23, well, hips of 31 inches, all the way up to a size 10, which is a UK 24, bust of 48 inches, waist of 41 inches, hips of 49 inches. And the fabric I have chosen for my daughter is, again, I have cut this out, and it's basically is this? Yeah. It's a denim fabric with a bit of stretch, so some stretch denim. I believe this is from Minerva Crafts. I was just going to go for a chambray, but I was so desperate to cut this out, and I just used what was in my stash. And I think that bit of stretch would be okay. I mean, I don't think it's going to cause any problems. And then the bodice or the sleeves, you know, sometimes it might feel a bit restrictive. Hopefully not, but if it does, that bit of stretch will help her along when she's wearing it. So that's the next dress that I have planned. So that's already cut out as well. So I'm kind of well on my way to getting through this long list. And last but not least, I have collaborated with Judy from Running So and So. I'll pop her details below. She is a veteran sewer as well, or a veteran sewist. She has a YouTube channel. She's got an Instagram presence as well. She's really, really lovely. Actually, the first time I properly spoke to her was a couple of weeks ago. Prior to that, I have just messaged her on Instagram. She's also one of the bloggers for Jenny Stitches, and that's how I met her initially. And I have also interviewed her for my interview series that I sort of do with the vlog, and that will be released at some point this month. So anyway, Judy, I did speak to her, and she's actually really, really lovely. And when I say she's actually really, really lovely, what I mean to say is that, you know, sometimes when you speak to people, well, not speak, text people, you know, Instagram or Signal, what have you, sometimes you can't what's the word, identify the tone of the message, or sometimes if you're trying to be funny, it might not come across as being funny, it might come across as being rude, or if you're trying to be, I don't know, compassionate or helpful, again it comes out as being not so. So anyway, from her texts, I was just, you know, anyway, cut a long short story short, I spoke to her, and she's really, really lovely, very, very down to earth. We had a lovely chat, even past the interview. We had a lovely chat about her family, and she asked me about my family, and it was just really, really nice. Also, like I said, she's a veteran sewist, so she has been giving me tips and tricks along the way when I've had a problem with sort of a garment, and just general chit chat. She will just message me quickly back, which is really, really lovely. So anyway, sorry. We have decided to do the Sicily slip dress by Mason. Ta-da! It's this one here. Now, again, this isn't me. I do not wear slip dresses. I like to cover my shoulders and my chest area kind of thing. But having made the, what's it called? The saltwater slip, that was part of my my kit for July, I believe, or my kit for June from Little Miss So-and-so. And like I said, the patterns that I've had, apart from this Mave skirt, are patterns that I wouldn't normally try or wouldn't normally buy for myself because I just don't wear that sort of thing. And so I had to choose from Little Miss So-and-so. I chose the saltwater slip, and actually I quite liked it because I just wore a t-shirt underneath, so that's fine. And actually most of the styling that goes on Instagram with the slip dresses is that people are wearing tops underneath them, and it does look quite nice. It doesn't look like you're overly dressed or anything. So I made the saltwater slip, and it was nice. It was fine. I did have a couple of issues which I won't go into now, but with this slip dress, the reason I wanted to try it is because, first of all, it's cut on a bias, and that just the word cut on the bias just sounds so luxurious to me. I don't know why. I think when I say bias cut dress or bias cut skirt, I just think sort of satins and silks and these slinky sort of, you know, or lingerie or like evening dresses, that sort of thing. So anyway, I thought I'd try it. So with the Mason pattern, you get two versions. You get sort of the strappy top version with a cowl, and also I like that cowl neck bit. And then you can obviously change the length how you please. And then the second version is sort of thicker straps with a cowl still. And the shorter version here. So I'm going to go for this version here, strappy straps, cowl, long version. So that's what I'm going for. What I'm going to say, measurements for these. So their measuring sizes, they label them as size A, B, C, D, E, all the way up to a J. And their size chart, they start from a bust of, and it's in centimeters as well, because obviously it's not an English pattern. So 84 centimeters. Sorry, I don't have the calculations, the conversion things for this. Size A, so should I tell you then? If I don't, I mean, I'll tell you anyway. Size A, bust of 84, waist of 64, hip of 89, all the way up to a size J, bust of 137, waist of 117, hip of 142 centimeters. Now, having read through the instructions, it's quite nice to have learned something new, because I've never cut on the bias before. I will go into more detail when I reveal the dress, but it just tells you how to cut on the bias. So basically you never cut on the fold, you always have to cut it as a flat pattern. And the bias of the fabric, for example, if this is the selvage and this is your length of fabric, the bias is the diagonal part. So when I cut my fabric out, I have already cut this out. You have to I turn my fabric this way, and then I put my pattern piece along this way, which is great. So you've got the bias for that piece. Now that was for the front piece. Now for the back piece, you can't cut it the same way. It has to go the opposite way. So then I've turned my fabric this way, and then I put my back piece this way. And basically what it does is, if that piece is that way and that, you know, when you put it together, you have a balance of the biases, if that's the right term. Otherwise, if you had it both on the same bias, it kind of will shift to one side. That's how I figured out, well, myself, that's what I think the reason is for. That's why you have to do on opposite bias directions. So anyway, very excited to show you that. The fabric I have chosen for this is this lovely viscose from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn. I bought quite a few meters of this. So it's nice leopard print, because it's slightly different in that the background is a beigey white color. Now normally with leopard prints you get like a dark brown color or a black or like a tan. So this is quite nice because it's got a lighter colored background. So I'm using this for my Sicily slip dress, and then the rest of the fabric as well, I am going to make a wilder gown, which I think works really nicely in leopard print with a black tie at the neck. That isn't in my August plans, although if I have time I might squeeze it in, because it's fairly straightforward. I mean, it's just like a gathered neck and then lots and lots of tiers, like voluminous tiers. But if not, it'll definitely be my September plans. So that's my Sicily slip dress, and that's it. That's all of my plans for the month of August. And to be fair, I have already cut out most of them. A couple of them I have made already. So I will be going through some of that on my Friday Sews vlog, which is coming out this Friday. And depending on when Judy wants to release her, because I know she's on holiday at the moment. So depending on when she wants to release her Sicily slip dress, I will reveal that with her on a set date. In the meantime, there have been lots of sales going on at the moment. Summer sales, Lady McElroy, Sherwood's, the Fabric Revival, Lush Cloth, loads and loads of sales, loads and loads of gorgeous fabric. I have been quite naughty and I have bought quite a bit actually, but I will not buy anymore because I really have so much. And I think I will just work my way through. Actually, I have been quite good recently in that I have used up quite a lot of my stash. So I'm hoping going forward, I'd do that more as well. Also, my daughters are liking what I've been making them, so they're kind of picking and choosing from my stash as well, and asking me to make things for them, which is really nice. And that's it really. Thank you so much for watching. For all my subscribers, thank you so much. I have got more content coming out this week. Lots of fabric hauls coming as well this week. I might have to split them actually over the Friday sews throughout the month because there is a lot, and also it's good for me as well to have a bit more content, you know, spread the content out a bit. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please do have a look at my channel for other vlogs that might interest you. And yeah, thank you. See you again next week. Bye bye.